Hey everyone, we're here with Greg from Voidward. They are from North Carolina. If you don't know them, you should check them out. They're fucking fantastic. New singles, 11 singles coming out for the 11th anniversary of the Plowman. Um, so again, Greg, I'm going to say thanks. I greatly appreciate you taking time out to chat with me.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So the obviously that we were just talking, the band is super new to me. How long has Voidward been around?
Uh, 2013 is whenever I put out the first Voidward thing. It was an EP, three songs. The Plowman is on it, two other songs. I did that all by myself. Um, it's a long story, but
Always is.
yeah, just I had the time to do it, uh, and not a lot of time to like play live and stuff or like put a band together.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and then wound up in that situation where suddenly like I was getting asked to play shows and it's like, oh well, I guess I guess I'm gonna need to put a band together. So I started kind of like a rotating fill-in drummer and bass player, and um, eventually that settled into what we have now, which is Noah Kessler and Alec Farrell on drums and bass, respectively, and that's how we've been since. That's the lineup on the 2022 recording, which we actually recorded in 2019 and we're going to put out in 2020.
COVID. Yes.
But yeah. So anyway, fast forward to now and here we are. And so yeah, 11 years that I'd consider myself having like done the work of Voidward.
Okay. I that's 11 years is a long time. I think a, most people don't realize in band terms what 11 years means.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't until it happened, you know. so, uh, so yeah, no, I mean to your point, it's I've been in a lot of bands. This is the band that I've been in the longest by like many orders of magnitude.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Bands, they come and go so much. Like uh it's almost like a population,
Hmm.
population of a city. You have people moving in, people moving out all the time, and sometimes it fluctuates very little. So so that as an outsider, a lot of people don't realize that, well, shit, like when I was in Nashville 25, 26 years ago, there were 37,000 bands in Nashville proper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. That number didn't change for years, but I like personally, I know hundreds of bands that were breaking up and getting together through that time. So it's like,
Hmm.
you know, uh, I think for any band, 11 years is like, that's a mark.
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to record the same song 11 times. That was about as much as went into that decision making.
And the great thing about it is they're all fucking totally different from each other. At least the four that I've heard so
I've
far.
only done four so far.
But
Five is on the way. Although I get technically five, including the original Plowman. There are five done. Um, it may be like my what's the come on field of Illinois. guy, was going to do all 50 states, but
Yeah.
like petered out at 3 or whatever. I'm fully prepared for that to be what happens. But it, uh, in all honesty, like it, it's like really the result of too many inside jokes, too many band inside jokes, just like piled up on one another and just gone terribly
Those
to some
that's
conclusion that just
isn't that the best
wasn't
stuff though?
predicted.
Like if you can't build off of an inside joke, then what's the fucking fun in it, you know?
Yeah, that's essentially all. That is pretty much all Voidward is. It's just nothing but inside jokes.
Yes. That's fucking awesome. What so how long did it take you like from the time you recorded that, the first EP? I think correct me if I'm wrong, it was called The Knives, right?
The Knives EP, yeah, yep.
So from the time you recorded that until you like put together a live version of the band, what was that timeline like?
I mean, months. It was like uh the recording of that EP was far and away like the most time consuming part because it was also essentially me just learning how to be a recording engineer by myself, so um
I'm just
which
gonna do it all. Fuck it.
yeah, huh?
Just fuck it.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that was the attitude, and like nobody else is gonna do it, so I
Right.
guess I'll just do it myself. um and but once I put it out, I mean, for the same reasons that you just described, like just kind of being in an area where, relatively speaking, there's a lot of bands, and we all play in each other's bands, and um so like that, it wasn't like somebody heard my music and was like, holy shit, these guys,
Yeah.
whoever this is, you boys, you Voidwood boys, y'all gotta go somewhere.
We're gonna sign you to a contract. You're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
fucking be rock
No, it's
stars.
just
Like,
like, some friend of a friend is like, putting on a thing, right? And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'd love to do that.
yeah.
Gotta, now I need a band, hey, you know, friends who I've played in 4 other bands with, do y'all want, you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
and it's really just kind of been lurching from there, and just, I
I
don't
th
know if I answered your question, but
I think you did. I think that's in my mind, I think that's the best way to start something, right? Start it as your own like personal project and then, just build off it. That way there's no like, well, we're gonna go out, we're gonna tour, so I need these pieces for sure. Like, no, let's have fun with it. That's ultimately that's what, music is for most of us is just let's fucking have fun and see what comes of it.
yeah, I agree with that. On a very deep fundamental level, I agree with those words. That's at some point I decided that was going to be my priority. Was having fun, and like, I guess to nobody else's surprise but mine, like as soon as I started thinking about it that way, like it got a lot more fun, and just things, just doing anything feels easier that way, you
Oh
know.
yeah. Yeah, what's the old adage, if you are having fun or enjoying what you're doing, you won't go to work a day in your life, right?
Sure.
So I know, obviously bands at different levels have different, mindsets behind it. That some of those bands are going out and grinding, 250, 280, 300 days a year.
Hmm.
Um, and it's gotten them far, but man, there are so many bands that are like, you know what, let's just kind of jam and if we play like 10 shows this year, awesome. If we don't, who gives a shit? We're just gonna
Yeah.
have fun with it, you know?
Yeah, that's I mean, I've run a 6 show cap for Voidward for 13 years. And I've filled it though. That's the thing though. I have filled it
That's
every year.
That's awesome. So you're like I play bi-monthly. Let's do this shit.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, in an area like this, just thinking practically, right? Like, I'm not going to go on tour
Right.
unless somebody's going to like, I'm not going to foot that bill. Sorry. you know. So so it's like but I'm going to play, I'm not going to I'm I I am not going to put all the time and energy into recording and making stuff and then not play it live.
Sure.
That's just me. I know plenty of people who just record stuff, and anyway,
Good for
everybody gets to
them.
do it however they want. My
That's it.
way is I like to write stuff, record it, and then go play it live. That's my jam. So,
A little
um,
bit, not too much.
huh?
A little bit, not too much.
I mean, I would, in a world where it was possible to do it every day, I mean, fuck yeah, I would absolutely do it every day,
Oh,
right?
that then we're having a different conversation
But that's
because
not
it is absolutely we are in a world where you could do that every day. Now you might not make a whole lot of money or any at that
fair,
point, right?
fair.
But you could do it
Yeah, yeah, you can. I have chosen not to. I mean, more to the point.
yeah.
In that array of choices, I have chosen not to go that route. Because from my perspective, well, I mean, there's a lot of, my life is my perspective. That's why.
Yep.
And it's like, I mean, I think, I don't know if this is where you're headed with it, but uh, like it doesn't, you could be a band that grinds it out. You can be a band that doesn't. You can be a band that's a band. You can be a band that's one person. Whatever. Like any way is valid. You're probably not going to make a lot of money at it. So it's like pick your way of not making a whole lot of money.
Well, you know, I I am of the mind that it is 100% up to the artist, and obviously, like we've said a couple of times, like there is no wrong way. If your way is just recording music and putting it out there, like that's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And on the flip side, if your way is going out and grinding 300 dates a year, like
Yeah,
dude, that's awesome too if
do it.
that fits your lifestyle.
Yeah,
Um,
I know plenty of people who are like that. That's their life. And it's good for them.
for sure.
Whenever I say if I could, I literally mean like if I had the personality type to be okay with that lifestyle. And that's, I mean, that to your point, like that's the point where I'm going to make the choice. Like I do not like I like my pillow. I
Yeah.
like my pillow.
Yeah. I I understand that more than I think anyone. Like I can't tell you how many nights I've slept on some random floor with
Yeah.
like my coat to cover me up and no pillow because someone's using the couch pillows, like fuck.
Yeah. And I mean, that's like it's fun. It's fun, you know.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun while it's fun.
Ish.
Yeah,
Like
it's fun as long as it's fun. But it's not fun. It's not fun anymore. Then you go find some other way to make it fun.
yeah. Yeah. And
Voila.
again, it's like it's what's the goal, right? Because there are uh you you can make money in the music industry
Hmm.
even today when record deals are not the best way to make money. I don't honestly, I don't know that they've ever really been the best way to make
No,
money,
no,
right?
no. Yeah, that to the idea that record deals made anybody any real money, broadly speaking, is like ignoring almost the entirety of recorded music history.
Yeah.
Record deals were, I mean, not to not to get on a box or anything, but I mean, they were in large part designed to like
Make someone
not pay
money
people
that
money.
well, they were designed to make people money who weren't making the music.
Totally, totally. And
Like,
so, like, I think actually, like, setting aside that entire idea makes it easier to get to a place of feeling like you are making money, or at least doing a worthwhile, like making it a worthwhile endeavor, you know.
Yeah.
And that to me is really like where like my heart lives in it, is just like what's worthwhile to me. It's going to take my time, it's going to take my energy to not, whether I make the money back or whatever, like it's going to take my money at some point,
Yeah.
you know. So like these are all things that I'd love to not fuck with. I just want to play fucking guitar, you know. But but this is the world I'm living in, you know, and I'm gonna pull the levers in front of me, you know.
Yep. We all got to pay our fucking bills, however that happens, right? Like,
Yeah.
so whatever. But you know, you have artists like I'm gonna venture out, like Tech Nine. The two that I reference the most are, and I guess there's three. There's Tech Nine, there's Ani DeFranco, and
Mm-hmm.
then Brett Gurewitz from Bad Religion. You know, those three, all of them made their own way,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, built like Ani Righteous Babe. I don't know what Tech Nine's label is, but he built his own label, management company, production company, and of course Brett with Epitaph, which is one of the I mean, I guess it's still one of the largest indie labels in the world. I mean, they, you
I mean,
know,
I've
the
heard of it.
yeah, but you know, to build that, I mean, like from nothing, you know, I think Brett borrowed 5 grand from his dad or something
Mm.
like that to start Epitaph, and then, you know, what was it? That was probably early mid '80s, and then by early '90s, uh, Offspring, shit, what was that? Smash, I guess, sold millions of albums, like probably 94, 95.
I remember that being on the radio for a very long time.
Yeah. And he was running the, like, this is the wild part. He was running the label out of his house, and they shipped millions of albums out of his garage.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, love it or not, that's fucking work.
That is that is work. That's a lot of sleepless nights, I
Yeah.
guarantee.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Uh,
you know, my point was, right, for an artist, there's a way to monetize it
mm.
without losing the integrity of the art itself.
No, I think it's easier now than ever,
100%.
frankly. I mean, just the given the state of technology, uh, you know, that clamping down on that too much, that ship sailed. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we've got little tiny recording studios in our fucking phones, you know. Like,
Which is, it's so mind blowing. Someone
yeah.
sent me a song. They were like, "Oh yeah, I recorded this on my phone," and I'm like, "On your phone? Really?"
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, and I'm all about it. I mean, you know, I know enough about the whole process of recording that um uh, you know, I recognize the benefits of, you know, of analog, and you know, that going through that process of recording. But um just, I mean, to the point of like, are you going to make it, are you going to make something that's like, uh whether or not you're going to make money back on it or not, like, are you going to make something that was worth the time and energy investment, right? And like digital recording on your phone versus, you know, whatever tape deck, like that's the way to get there. It's
Oh,
not, that tape deck is not going to get you there.
you know, and
Not right away.
but but it really depends on what you're, you know, what you're after too, right?
Sure.
Because there are those artists that do really, really good with the analog, you know, the old 2-inch tape,
Hmm.
and they do great with that. Like, you know,
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, and that in itself is like an art because that editing is not, copy and paste or cut and or here's where I'm
No.
punching in and I need to punch out here. Like, no,
Hmm.
you're there with a fucking razor blade and man, I hope I don't screw this up, you know?
Yeah. Or I mean, I've read a few like engineer histories. Uh like one's Behind the Glass is a really good one. Um and it's basically like their careers were basically just like revised versions of I was in there to fuck up to fix everybody's fuck ups.
Yeah.
Like that's how I learned to splice tape was by like the person that worked there would fuck it up and hand it to me and I'd have to fix it, you know.
Like, shit. But I mean, what better way to learn like I don't want to call them shortcuts, but learn like the tricks of the trade,
Well, there's
like
shortcuts. Shortcuts are the tricks of the trade. I
it's
mean,
trial by fire.
yeah, and I mean even as easy as it is to do a lot of that stuff. Like I mean, I use Reaper for everything. That's what I've if you stuck me on Pro Tools, I wouldn't know what the fuck I was doing. But
Right.
you know, I've got Reaper like roughly figured out, and um uh I think I lost my point here.
That's it's all right. I think we just went off on a tangent.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we were
yeah.
just all
This
over the
got real
place.
tangential, but yeah,
It's all right.
that's yeah.
Totally okay. But like shit, I started recording in the 90s and home recording then versus home recording now
Did you
is
do ADAT?
it's fucking night and day. No, I didn't even do ADAT. I did
Wow.
just a regular cassette,
Yeah. Okay.
like the Tascam
Hmm.
four track was it MK3 or something
Yeah,
is
I used
what.
to have one of those.
Yeah, dude, like and that was great. And it's like, man, I hope the neighbor doesn't make too much noise while I'm trying to record this track because
Yep.
I'll
Yeah. I
have
hope
to
nobody
record.
flushes the toilet.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Bouncing everything down, bouncing
Oh,
drum tracks until they were just mush.
oh yeah. You're like, and God forbid if you fuck up on a bounce, you're like, damn it, I got to start
Yo,
all
yeah.
over again.
No, can I live with that or not? I just like
Yeah.
a little bit out.
Eh, that's good enough. Like,
Yeah, maybe
let's,
I could scooch it on
yeah.
there's the little time where you
Yeah.
could like kind of slow down or speed up the tape a little bit. Scooch a little bit here.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
so
I think actually just remembered my earlier point is that all of that stuff, all of those little things, tape, all of that, like all of those little processes, they still exist, like in those digital realms, in your DAW. They still, cause like I know how everything works in my box, but I don't like if I looked in somebody else's box, my mind would melt.
yeah,
If I tried to do like these basic little things, because everybody's configured it in such a manner that they've got all these shortcuts, right?
yeah.
You know, um, to the point now, like I mean, I was recording like a harmonica track for somebody, and like the dude that was doing the harmonica was dead sure that I was going to spend like a million years comping tracks, right? But like, boop, 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 it's done. And not that he expected analog comping, just like, you know, nowadays you sort through 10,000 fucking tracks to comp
Yeah.
one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I did that in like seconds, right? Where he was expecting like tomorrow.
Shit, that's nice. Yeah, I mean, that part of it is super, super nice because it doesn't take you don't have to sit there and go, okay, I gotta listen to all of these all over again. I mean, that was uh the one that I always recall is Def Leppard, recording each track, what was it, like 16 times or something ridiculous. And then they would pick, like for vocals, they'd pick the highest one, right? Guitars, they'd pick the cleanest one, but they'd record it so many times and then
Mm-hmm.
go back and listen to each track again. And it's like, holy shit, for one song, if you record, four instruments, let's call it five instruments because of the vocals, if you record each one 16 or times or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
you're fucking 3 days of just recording guitars.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
damn.
That shit takes time.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even want to know how many times I recorded the Plowman. I don't even want. It's just
You should totally figure that out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that yeah.
And on the
I'm when I'm done. When I'm done. That's whenever maybe at that point I'll have gotten somewhere where I have an intern that I can
yes,
that I
free
can
labor.
hand that calculation off to.
Here,
That's
you
my fantasy.
go to go to work. What am I doing? Well, you're just going to figure out how many times I recorded this.
Yeah.
Like, what? Yep, get to it.
Yep. 950 times a million thousand.
So going back to the Plowman, like what was that? You've recorded it. We'll call it five, but in current day, you've got the four tracks you've released, and you're recording the fifth one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that bringing back like for you what it felt like when you started recording that EP or when you started writing that EP? Is it like that feeling again?
Uh, a little bit, or like a recycle or something. That's certainly how. That's like the spirit of how I'm treating it for sure. I mean, it's certainly like a labor of vanity uh to go to go retread retread my own material. um but I'm whatever, that's what I decided to do, so that's what I'm doing. It in a lot of ways is a kind of like a reaccounting for the original EP that I did. I programmed all the drums for. I didn't play them um, for a couple of reasons. Mostly because I wasn't good enough to play them at the time.
Yeah.
Um, but also, I just didn't have a. I didn't have a place to like record drums and have somebody come in and play them. Like I could have gotten a friend to play to like do the drum parts, but
Yeah.
I just didn't. It wasn't feasible, at the time. And so instead, what I decided to do was program all the drums using Easy Drummer 2. Uh, and that was a
Yep.
nightmare that I will never do again. And it took so long. And um, the goal was, I mean, it was just like a whole like abstract painter's abstraction process of just like I recorded a drum track to a click, and then I automated a click to the like to my discrepancies, and then like built built an Easy Drummer drum track to the automated click that I then did all the parts to, and then I programmed the final drums, and I programmed them like I pulled everything out of the Easy Drummer box, and like I treated it like it was a real, like I treated it like an engineer, like
Yeah.
somebody had given me good, really amazing drum tracks, right? Um, and even like programmed, like I sat down and worked out fills, and even like programmed the slop in there a little bit. Um,
I'm gonna fuck up here.
Well,
Go.
yeah, just anywhere that I would like notice, like, okay, my tendency is to drag my left hand a little bit, or whatever. Not nothing crazy. I don't want to like, uh, I
You
don't I
just
don't want to paint a picture that I was like,
you just ruined all the fun. Like,
my bad.
here's where a beer bottle flew across the room. Smash.
So now I have a place where I can record drums and stuff, and this was kind of like, I mean, honestly, the Plowman project is serving a lot of different functions for me, one of which is well, it's a lot to get in. It's serving a lot of functions for me. Some of them are academic related, some of them are um things that I want to do as a musician moving forward in various ways. It it's too much to explain. I'll just, but like I guess the point I'm just getting at is like it's not strictly speaking just like, oh, I decided I'm just gonna redo this
Sure.
thing. So it was also like a way of exploring getting my recording space set up, and I've been taking drum lessons and working with this dude Greg Fox, who as a music coach. He you might know him. He played drums on like 3 liturgy albums.
Okay.
Um, he's like a human drum clinic.
Yeah.
Just well, I guess they all are, but like a walking drum clinic. He's and a very nice guy and a very good teacher too. And so over this last year, like I've just been taking drum lessons. And like I decided, like, all right, this is it. I'm gonna put this thing to bed. I'm gonna play, and so I played my original Easy Drummer track. No, there's no fills or anything. Just the original Easy Drummer track that I recorded all the music to before going in, and so that's what I played on drums as a joke to my inside jokes upon inside jokes. That one was to myself.
You know, two things. One is, fuck yeah, you got that joke that's always gonna be there. And two, like, you played the fucking drums. Like, put me behind a kit, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna look like a fucking newborn baby that doesn't know how to control his arms, you know?
But yeah, well, that's how I feel for sure. Yeah, no, I mean to your point though, it felt like an accomplishment. Like I'd always like a lot of guitar players. Like I was a very frustrated drummer,
Yeah.
uh, and I guess for whatever reason, I finally decided to do something about it. And um, yeah, I'm as surprised as anybody that I felt confident enough to like. Honestly, I didn't. It was like the lesson that I had with him afterwards, where I was like, I guess maybe I'll start feeling like a drummer. And he's like, dude, you just released something where you play like you're a drummer now. You
Yeah.
you and I was like, oh, oh yeah, I did.
That's what that means. Oh
Whoops.
shit.
Yeah. So then that's kind of what led to the other ones. Was then it was like, oh, okay, well, like in the spirit of this recording project that I'm working on, um, a lot of it is just kind of like experimental composition related stuff,
Cool.
and so and also kind of like experimenting with uh and kind of like and using some of those experimental compositional principles in a recording context too, right? So like one of those tracks is like layers of of drums. Like I chose that as a thing to focus on as the multi-tracked part, because like everybody multi-tracks guitars and
Yep.
bass and all of that shit, right? But um when do you get a wall of like
Drums.
tom?
Yeah.
you know uh yeah, so just stuff like that, just like what kind of weird thing am I going to do, and uh but really it also is like a promotional single for Occult Symmetry, which is the like that's Alec and Noah and I, and we did it in the same space. The three of us with our and our friend Nick, who tracks it, who is an amazing recording engineer. So that's a 2-song composition that I didn't want to call an EP or a single like because I wrote it it's 2 songs, but it's a single piece.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that
cool.
so I'm calling that a micro album.
I think it's a unique way to market it because it gets, I mean, for me, I'm like, ooh, micro album. Hmm. What's
Yeah.
that? You
Yeah.
know?
What is a micro album? Do you mean an EP? No, because an
No.
EP is just not enough songs for a full length. And is it a single? No, because a single is a single song, and this is not a single song. This is a composition in two parts that happens to be two songs.
This is a finished album that isn't a full LP.
That's right. So that's the micro album concept. The Plowman, 11 versions of the same song, that's the macro single to promote
Yes.
the micro album.
I've oh holy fuck. I absolutely love this, dude. Like, I could not tell you how much I fucking love this. Like, I did a single. Oh, you did? Yeah, it was a macro single. We did 11 versions of it. Holy shit, 11 versions? Yeah, well, what does that album look like? Well, it's two compositions, but it's essentially one piece of work. It's a micro album. People are gonna be so fucking confused, and I'm so here for it.
That's I'm very validated to hear all of that. Thank you.
I,
Because there's it's like you put that ship out to sail and just hope for the best. So thank you.
I think so many people, are like when it comes to albums, especially like in pop culture today, you look at they're like 8 to 10 songs. That's what our album is. Our EP is
Mm,
3 or 4 songs, like, and or they put a single out and they don't. There's no variance. Like this is what we do. That's it. Well, holy fuck! Like this completely changes that whole concept, which I love pushing boundaries. I love seeing how things can change, and I think that's why I've always been interested in music, seeing like the different styles with how guitars sound and how you can make drums sound. And there's a fucking death metal band out of New Jersey that doesn't have guitars. Well, they have got a bass guitar, drums, and violin.
all right,
Like
I'm in.
I
I'm
fucking
down.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Like what else can we change? And if we can change people's mindsets around albums with micro albums and macro singles, like why the fuck not?
Yeah, well, that was that was the question I confronted myself with. Why not?
Yeah,
And there's not, I mean,
there's
there
no
isn't any answer over there. So,
there's no
I,
valid
oh,
reason not to.
yeah. And I mean, it's not like I've fundamentally changed the system, but I've just figured out a way to have fun in it for myself.
You fundamentally changed the system because you introduced something that no one else has thought of.
Oh, well, okay. I'll go. I'm sure I'll go with that.
You're a
Nice.
fucking You're the purveyor of the macro single and micro
Wow.
album. Let's do this.
Well, I always wanted, I all I ever could hope for really in my heart was like to be an anecdote in the annals of music history and maybe inventor of the micro album macro single. I'll
Yeah.
take it. I
Hell
will take
yeah.
it. I'll
You're
fucking take it.
you're in the fucking history books, dude.
Thank you. It's it's been recorded right here.
Yeah.
Oh man. Wow.
Well,
Well,
so Greg, how does it feel to be such a highly respected person in the music industry that has forever changed the introduction of music to the masses moving forward?
it's just another day working for the void, man.
Uh, like it's honestly it's so fucking awesome to that you even thought of these concepts because um people always want to create something, constantly want to create, and bands always, just artists in general, always have that argument, like, do I release an EP, do I release an album, do we do a single, like,
Mhm.
and this is I think this is a great way to say, hey, you don't just have to do these things. you can literally do whatever you want when
You
it,
really can. You really, anybody really can. I mean, like, you know, like gets presented to us in various corny ways, but like this is one of those places where it's like really true.
yeah.
Like there's really just no reason to get tied up in knots about the right way to go about being like a, I guess just being an artist at all, and like how to how to project yourself out into the world. You know, there's just not, if there's a wrong way, somebody's gonna let you know. Like
Yeah,
you're
but
real.
you know, like I think the reality is like when you're writing music, there's not a wrong way to write a song. There's not a wrong way to record a song unless it doesn't record, right?
Yeah.
Uh, like and there's not really a wrong way to release music. Like
Mm-mm.
I'll argue I don't like flexi discs. I think they are terrible, but I have a ton of them.
Sure. Well, that, I mean, that falls under the like, uh, I mean, if you're gonna not provide somebody a quality thing,
Yeah.
then, but that's like outside the scope of like artistic merit or whatever.
Mm.
Like there's,
No, no, I don't think it is. I think people still go, this has to be released on this,
mm,
right? So there's still
that's true, they do.
that creative concept behind it.
Mm,
And again, although I don't like them, it doesn't mean it's the wrong way to go about it. But there, at the end of the day, there are no fucking boundaries. For an
yeah,
artist, do what you're gonna do. You know,
yeah. I heartily believe in that, and I believe in that for anybody that wants to like claim to do art in any capacity,
yeah,
whatever it is. I mean, the art of living, get after
yeah.
it.
Life's a garden. Dig it.
Yeah. Well,
God.
and to that end, if it's all right, the artist who did the cover for
Yeah,
this record, um, her the place that she was living with her roommates burnt down, and there's a GoFundMe. Sally Gates is the artist who did this. So uh, you know,
was she in LA?
no, no, in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this was separate from an LA fire. Um, just fires all around.
Dude, fires, hurricanes, like
Yeah, man.
no, there's so much
I'm
shit going
in,
on.
I'm in North Carolina. We had, I mean, it was brutal.
Yeah,
That
you
Western NC, it's pretty brutal.
got demolished for sure.
Yeah. So
We
that's the spirit in which I'm
cool. When I put the video up, I'll put the GoFundMe in the description.
yeah. I
So
think
when
it's Kevin Huffnagel is the person that's
doing it.
uh yeah, that's it's like it's his GoFundMe. And anyway, I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know her very well, but that's just,
It's all right.
she
Little
did
bit.
this amazing artwork.
Look, put it up close to the camera and talk behind it so the camera moves to you. You got to
There it is.
talk.
Oh yes. This is the let me get my light out of the way. Uh the visual representation of the occult, symmetry, dark miracle, and light rider. Um the void cycle, all there. You'll see light rider and dark miracle are song one and song two, and the side A, so you get 15 minutes per side, right? Thought about doing a 12 inches is the only cost effective way to really go about it.
Yeah.
So you get 15 minutes aside. So it's light rider, dark miracle, light rider, flip it over, dark miracle, light rider, dark miracle,
Yes.
because you got to get your money's worth. whole fill the fill the whole thing up.
I'm gonna tell you, I am one of those people, and I guess the term today is like my autism or whatever. Um, when I latch onto a fucking song, I could probably listen to that song 100 times in a row and not even think about another song.
That's that. Well, that's the idea here. Just keep playing. Just keep because you're just gonna want to hear it again.
That's it. Just
That's the hope.
keeps going. You hear each song 3 times on the album.
Yeah.
So vinyl is my thing. Do you, are you doing what color vinyl is it?
This first one's black.
Okay.
Um, again, just to like keep. I I paid the cost for the stuff that I really wanted to.
Yeah.
Like making sure that I had a really good photo photograph to use for the cover of this uh, canvas art. Stuff like that. So the uh, black vinyl, just to keep it within budget for myself. And then we'll see how these. I got to run a 300. We'll see
Okay.
how it goes. That I felt that feels like a reasonable amount to, you know, probably not have a stack of them sitting in my closet, which that's always my nightmare
Every
with
band.
anything. Yeah, and I've through very careful decision making, I have put out. I don't have any leftover Voidward CDs from the 2022 record, Voidward by Voidward. Um, and uh, so
Nice.
anyway,
You say that, and I think Squidward, who lives in a pineapple under the sea, SpongeBob SquarePants, Squidward, Voidward. Sorry, like,
oh no,
um,
you're not. You know what? You're not the first. You're not the first. You're
uh,
not the first.
good. I was like, I have kids, so that's where my
Oh
mind
yeah,
goes.
yeah. No, you're good. You're not the yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I lean into any and all interpretations of the void. So that's my stance.
Hell yeah. Let's just have fun with it. That's good shit. So, over the next 12 months, what is the plan for the band? Obviously, we're not doing any crazy wild world tours.
Mm-mm. No, yeah, we just had our like sit down and talk about it. What do we want 2025 to look like? So we part of the reason why I went this route with occult symmetry was to kind of like get myself going, like I'm gonna put something out and then like I ran into a few delays with that, and that's what led to me then like having the time to do the Plowman, and so it's like you just kind of figure out a way to roll everything on as you
Yep.
go. And so all that is to say that like we've got we've got like another full length ready to go that we've been playing live all last year. So that's what we'll probably be working on for the summer, and then we'll see where that gets us for the fall. um I had thought about I'd been uh, setting up the idea for doing like a small tour on this, but honestly, again, the like Western NC stuff, like honestly, um, a lot of that network is like just now starting to like get
Come back online.
rebuild, you know.
Yeah.
So all that is to say that no big tours for that, no big plans for that kind of stuff.
Well,
But shows for sure, release show. Anyway, all of that stuff is TBD. Right now, it's just like we're gonna, get this fucking thing out into the world.
Yeah. Push, push, push. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, if you guys do want to get out and do like a little weekender run or something, I'm not too far away. I'm over in Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Excellent.
and I know there's like we've got a fantastic scene here. I'd be happy to connect you with some of the people here and play some shows.
Absolutely. We would love to do that for sure. That I
S-
know.
Sweet.
I'm looking to break out of my six show. That's six local shows. See,
There you go.
tuck in other ones.
Yeah,
That's the idea. Anyway, well, that's great. I'd really appreciate it.
yeah, for sure. Pay attention to Legalize Lex. It's
Legalize Lex.
it's a I think this is year two. It's a festival in Lexington. My dude Braun Dabney from Crop. Here's to you, dude. He really puts a lot of effort into it, and he curates all the artists himself and puts it together. And like last year was year one, and I don't think it could have went off better.
Well, that
Like
sounds amazing.
there was one hitch, and that was because I think someone's head fucked up, but it wasn't 5 minutes, and there was a new head in place, ready to roll.
That's as good as it gets. I
Yeah,
mean, I've seen enough festivals on both sides of the festival stage, like behind it and in front of it, and that's like that's amazing.
you don't get that, like you really
No.
don't. And I'm gonna tell you, this is my favorite story. It the first band playing that on that day was Period Sex. So that's not even the funny part. The
Okay,
funny part
okay.
is while they were playing right across the street, they were trying to have a wedding. And Period Sex is playing. It was so fucking great.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, sign me up, you know?
Yes, I'm here for it too. It was like really the people came over and were like, "Hey, can you stop playing?" Like, no, we
Yeah.
we're not asking you to stop your wedding because you're interrupting our music,
Right.
right? Like,
No.
consider this free bands for you. You're
Have
welcome.
you ever heard of period sex? Because like they're here right now.
They're they're the big deal right now.
Yeah. You're welcome
You're
for period sex playing
they,
your wedding.
they,
You owe us $50.
oh, I fucking love it, dude. I fucking love it. It was absolutely great though. The night went off, aside from the wedding thing, like it was fantastic. A stage outside, stage inside, and they just bands back and forth all
Nice.
night.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it went great. And all the bands crushed. And this year we've who did they just announced Low Pan. Do you know Low Pan?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep, just announced them, and I'm like, fuck yeah,
Fuck
it's
yeah, man. That's awesome.
yeah, super stoked for that. Um, okay. So Occult Symmetry is available on your Bandcamp.
Yeah, it'll be available on our Bandcamp. It's currently available pre-order through Poorhouse Pressing on their website. It'll be available on our website, voidwardnc.com, also on the Clearly Records website, clearlyrecords.com. Look up Clearly Records, you'll find it. So all of those places, it's available. The long and short of it is available.
It's available. It's available for pre-order, so go get you a copy. There's
Mhm.
only 300, so be one of those lucky 300 that gets the vinyl. I know I'm gonna be
You'll get the only black ones because then after that it'll be a different color.
a different color. Listen, if you don't do like a dark and a light color mix,
Oh
I,
yeah,
I'm gonna be really fucking upset.
that's and I mean, yeah, I love a concept.
Yes.
So, I will take a concept as far as I can possibly get it.
Yeah, and sometimes even further. That's
And
how
it's,
I
yeah,
am.
exactly. Because how else are you going to know how if you've gone too far?
That
If you don't take it too far, you won't know how far you can take it.
that's exactly it. If you never fuck up, you didn't try hard enough.
That's the truth. That's
God,
the only way I learned to play guitar.
that's yeah, me too. God, I fucked up a lot. Anyway, all right, Greg. Thanks, dude. I greatly appreciate you taking time out of your night, come chat with me. I've had a lot of fucking fun.
This has been amazing.
Hell yeah, sitting here cutting up with you. So, I look forward to seeing more from you in the future.
Well, thank you. And yeah, let's be in touch for sure about playing out in Kentucky. I'd be into it for sure.
100%, dude. Yeah, happy to. I'm happy to connect you because this is, it's what it's all about. Like we all work together to
It
build a
is
stronger community.
community. That's right, my man. Community. That's the word.
Hell yeah. Well, Greg, go and have a great night, my friend.
All right. You too.
Thanks. See ya.